Well, welcome to a new lecture on the layers of the IT industry. So, this is one of the very basic topics that we need to understand um, how the entire IT industry is set up. Well, for most of you who are seasoned, IT professionals, you may have a good grasp and knowledge of this. However, for the benefit of students who are just going to be entering into the IT industry. And also, this topic does help a lot in troubleshooting from a very bird's eye view perspective. All right, let's now start looking into it. So, the layers of the IT industry is what we are going to be talking about today. So, when the layers are stacked or the technologies that are stacked in the IT industry, let's start from the very core or the very lowest one. Yeah. So most of the times, from the user perspective, they always interface, they interact with the application, and they are not aware of all the services which are at the back end of the application. Yeah. But when we are moving into the IT industry, you would be noticing that we will be working in with or in one of these technologies every day. Okay, so let us take the first very basic layer 4 of the entire IT infrastructure, which is the storage subsystems. So the storage subsystems, these are machines onto which the data is stored, the actual data. We know that data is stored in the hard drives. Well, storage subsystems are computers with a dedicated function of managing the hard drives and the data which is going to be stored for the applications, for the service. So every 0 and 1 that is related to the information is going to be stored on the hard drive, and the storage subsystems are a trove of hard disks combined together. And under the storage subsystems, we have many types of storage subsystems. Primarily, they are either SAN based or NAS based. When we say it is SAN based, they are primarily block based storage devices. NAS based are called as file based storage devices. As we progress towards the core topics, we will be talking about what is a block based storage, what is a file based storage in the coming lectures. But from a storage subsystems perspective, primarily they communicate using fiber channel and ethernet, and they are SAN based and NAS based. SAN based are primarily block based ones, and the NAS based ones are the file based ones. So that's why we call NAS filers. And very much looking at the OEMs, the manufacturers who are the top leaders in this industry are EMC, NetApp, Hitachi, and IBM. The four These are the four manufacturers who lead the industry. Now, let's look at layer 3, and the layer 3 is the networking. And within the networking, you have Ethernet networking and fiber channel networking. And Ethernet networking are devices which communicate through LAN cables, and you have a NIC card at both the receiving end and the sending end. And on the contrary, with fiber channel, you have HBAs, or the host bus adapters, which have both, again, HBAs at both the receiving end and the sending end. And we have the protocols, the TCP protocol, the TCP/IP protocol, the UDP protocols. So all these protocols come under networking. So this is entire the layer 3. Then comes your layer 2, which is the servers. The servers are either physical servers, they can be virtual servers, and within the virtual servers, we also have the concept of containers. Primarily Dockers. Dockers are not the only type of containers, but containers has been there for a very long time. Well, if you look into Solaris There is an operating system called Solaris, and Solaris 10 operating system came up with the concept of containers way back in early 2005, 2004, 2005. We already had the concept of containers within Solaris operating system. Well, but today is when the containers are being looked at in a very prospective model. So, physical servers, virtual servers, and containers. And on top of this is where the layer one resides, which is the applications layer. So, what are the applications that we know? We know VoIP applications through which we can communicate, voice over protocols, databases into which a large trove of data is stored. Then we have SAP servers, then we have web servers, then we have application servers, a dedicated application service. So when you look at the entire IT industry, so every person you know who is working on the technological front would actually be working in one of these layers. And when you're troubleshooting also, well, let's say you're from a applications perspective, let's say from the applications perspective, let's say your database is having a performance level issue. All right. So it could be a problem with one of the hard drives, which is being onto which the data is being stored, and that hard drive may be actually residing in your storage subsystem, right? So there are many layers. So there can be a bug between your application. Your server could have had a patch update which contradicts with the binaries of your applications, which could be causing a performance level issue, or there could have been a networking level change which could be causing a performance issue on your networking, which is not suitable for your application. So when you look at it, you have to understand that each of these layers impact the overall performance of the top layer, which is the applications layer. Now let's start looking deeper into each of them as we progress throughout the course. And the cloud computing systems are also going to be focused on all these layers. Let's say when we are going to go into the cloud computing model, we are going to be working extensively on servers. We are going to be working extensively on virtual private clouds under the networking. We are going to be working on block-based storage, file-based storage, object-based storage, and all of them comes under the storage subsystems. So please do understand that these are the four primary layers which are the building blocks of the IT industry. Thank you.